It's a jungle out there! Going through a hike in the woods, that always reminds me of when I traveled across the country. Donkey Kong Country, that is. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country. One of my favorite Super Nintendo games of all time. It's part of a trilogy on the Super NES. Now, Donkey Kong Country is an action platforming game based on the original Donkey Kong Arcade, which was released for, well, the NES, the ColecoVision, Atari, and many other systems, including, of course, the arcade original. Now, Donkey Kong is one of my favorite video game icons. He's a great ape, Now, in Donkey Kong Country, you actually play as a different Donkey Kong. It's a little bit confusing because you see there's a character named Cranky Kong in the series. Now, Cranky Kong is actually the original arcade Donkey Kong that battled against Mario, once known as Jumpman, back in the day. So now you have a younger Donkey Kong, same name, not to be confused, but you have a younger Donkey Kong for a new generation of gamers. And this Donkey Kong, he has a sidekick now. His little buddy, Diddy. So he's got a little Diddy. Now, little Diddy and Big DK, they go on an adventure to rescue their banana horde. Now, the bananas are most important to Donkey Kong and his friends. So, in order to get back those bananas, they have to travel across the entire Donkey Kong Island with various terrain, various levels, various stages. Now, during these stages, they're looking for bananas. The bananas, once you get 100 of them, they will give you an extra life. Bananas are also found during boss fights, where you get a giant banana from defeating that boss. Now, once you make it through the end of Donkey Kong Island, you'll find out who the real culprit of this problem is. King K. Rool, who's a giant reptilian Kremling. The Kremlings are the enemies of the Kong family. Now, once you defeat King K. Rool, you will save the day, get back the banana horde, and reap the goodness of good golden bananas. Alright guys, let's head over to the Super Nintendo and play some Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo from me, Kevin from Happy Beard Games, your source for classic gaming goodness. Let's do this! Alright guys, so you got one player. Pretty self-explanatory. You play with just DK and Diddy. You can swap them out at any time. You got two-player contest where you and another Donkey Kong Diddy for your second player, your friend, can compete against each other. Then you got two player in a team where one person's DK and the other person's Diddy, and you switch off. Let's go to one player and start up Donkey Kong Country. Now this is the map of Donkey Kong Country, or Donkey Kong Island as it's known. You start out here in Congo Jungle. You can see there's another space, but that's actually just Donkey Kong's house. So you start in the first area, Congo Jungle. And the first stage, Jungle Hijinks. Let's do this. Alright, we burst out of our house and into the gameplay. Now you've got your Y button to help you run. You gotta hold it down, or you can tap it to do a barrel roll. And then you've got your B button to jump. You've got your A button, which you're not going to be using too much, but it allows you to swap between DK and Diddy. You can also push select. You've got start to pause. L and R, you don't need them. And X, not really need that either. Let's hop on up to my house, because there's a bonus in this house that everybody should get. An extra life balloon. Really handy. You can also get an extra life just by picking up 100 bananas. And you can see there's different characters in the background, including a painting or a picture of Donkey Kong's girlfriend of sorts, Candy Kong. Let's burst on out of here. Boom. Let's check out our banana horde. Once again, the banana horde is missing, which is the main objective of this game. Now, funny enough, this part's actually optional. You don't have to walk in there and see that, but that does give some backstory to the game if you go in and check that out. These metal barrels you can actually ride on top of. All you gotta do is throw them on a wall, jump, and you'll land on it. Now, you can ride this first barrel on stage 1, Jungle Hijinks, throughout about half the stage, actually. You can kill enemies along the way, so you don't really have to worry about anything. You don't even have to worry about dodging those coconuts. You can kill all these guys, and it'll lead you directly into a bonus room. By all means, that may not be the best way to complete this stage, but it does give you a good opportunity to get an extra life right at the start. Pretty simple stuff, but as you'll soon see, this game does increase in difficulty pretty fast. Second stage, Ropey Rampage. Let's begin. We've got DK and Diddy with us. Now these letters, like that K I just picked up, they spell out Kong. And if you find those, you'll get an extra life. They don't do anything else in this game, but they do give you an extra life. Here's something up here that's kind of important. I picked up a rhino coin. That's Rambi the Rhino, an animal buddy. He's a companion to Donkey Kong and Diddy. You will see him in certain stages, as well as if you pick up all 3 of these coins, you will have access to a Rambi the Rhino bonus stage, and there's even more opportunity to score some extra lives. There's lots of other animal buddies in this game, including a swordfish, an ostrich, a parrot, and of course Rambi the Rhino. Alright, the storm is cleared, and let's pick up that last letter. K-O-N-G, extra life from me. Alright, exit that stage. Now we've got something a little different along the way, and that is Crankys Cabin. We check out Cranky Kong, who I mentioned before as the original DK, so let's see what he has to say. I ain't got nothing left, so don't even ask. We used to have to survive with a 2-frame walk. He references a lot of old school things. He kinda acts like the grumpy grandpa. Sometimes our sprites used to change size for no apparent reason. We never had any of this fancy 3D stuff. Oh no, we had to survive on what we had. And what little we did have, we were happy with. Well, I've never seen anything like it. So he basically just is there to scold you. If you wait long enough, he'll give you some tips. Enjoy this demo while you can, it can't last much longer. Bounce on the fixed tires to hurdle obstacles and reach bonuses. So he will give you some tips if you wait through his scolding for a little while. Let's head on to the next level, Stage 3, Reptile Rumble in the caves. There we go. Now there is something else you can do with Donkey Kong. If you hold the down button and you press Y, you can slap the ground. Now in certain stages, mostly the cave stages, and sometimes the ice cave stages, you can get bananas from the ground in that way. You can also get them from rolling a barrel over them. So there's a couple ways you can get those out if you don't have Donkey Kong available. Here's a really easy bonus room that you can get to pretty easily as well, and all it does is just give you a lot of bananas. You don't have to push any buttons during that sequence. There will be levels where you have to travel from barrel to barrel, shooting out of each one at precise times. Now, in some cases the barrels you have to push on your own with the button press. In some cases they go automatically, so you have to watch out for the marking on that specific barrel. That barrel right there has another specific marking. That was actually a save checkpoint barrel. So if you get in that checkpoint barrel, when you die completely, you will be sent back to that barrel instead of the start of the level. Helps you out when traversing the levels that are more difficult. Here's another one of those animal buddy coins. It's actually for Unguard the swordfish. Now once you collect all 3, you'll enter a swordfish bonus. They don't have to be on the same stage in that regards. They're not like the Kong letters, which I just picked up by the way, but they actually can be picked up across the game. It'll save to your file. This level has one of the best soundtracks in the game so far. Now the controls are a little different on this stage. I mean, they still play the same, but you're obviously not walking on the ground, you're swimming. So what you have here is mostly, you're pushing B to swim up, And you can also move around with the D-pad, but to go up, you're pushing the B button. So you gotta kind of time it right. You see these bananas. You always want to trust in the bananas, Donkey Kong. You always want to trust in those bananas, because they'll lead you to the right path. In almost all cases. Now, it'll lead me to Engard the Swordfish. He's our first animal buddy on this stage. And we're going to ride him throughout the stage to get some secrets. And not only can you ride him to go faster, you can actually auto-attack with him. So if you swim up next to an enemy, he will auto-attack that enemy, like this. You can also, if you want to, hold down the A button to get off of him, or you can hold down the B button to do a fast attack on your own. There's a checkpoint barrel, but there's some stuff up here. Really interesting level design. It's very iconic to me because I've played it so many times, and I think I know exactly how it's laid out. But I still find it interesting. It seems like it's just done so perfectly. There is one part that's a little weird, and that is right here you can actually get 2 Engards at the same time. I always found that weird. I think it's like... I mean, it is the same character, but it's just weird to see it on there twice. Maybe it's like his version of Diddy. We got these sharks. The animations are very smooth in this. I know they're pre-rendered 3D, set in a 2D game, but they just look really nice. And the music, I mean, come on, David Wise, he did an excellent job on this soundtrack. And it's one of those soundtracks that's heavily remixed and covered today by various bands and DJs. Not only that, but the original is just perfect. Kinda makes me feel like I'm swimming underwater. Come on, let's get back to the gameplay. Now, a lot of these enemies in this game are set on patterns. There's not so much AI as there is patterns in this game. So if you can figure out the patterns, you'll be able to succeed on every level. It's sort of a trial and error kind of thing with this game. If you can figure out each pattern for each level, you can pretty much win every time. It just depends on how your skills are, from your hands to your controller, and your mindset. You have to get it right every time, because the patterns will stay the same, pretty much. They only change when sometimes Donkey Kong or Diddy comes closer to an enemy. It'll like activate the pattern, and then you'll basically just go. It's a pretty easy to understand concept, but when you're playing it, it can seem more difficult than it actually is. Now we've got Funky's Flights, another Kong level. It's not actually a level, it's just an area you can go to where you can meet another Kong. Now this one is Funky Kong. Funky Kong on Funky's Flights will allow you to, once you jump in his barrel, this is completely free, no tokens required, you can travel between level to level. Now, it sends you to different worlds on the map, and then once you click on that world, then you can go in here. Because normally when you complete a world, you can't go back to the world before it. In order to get back to another world and collect those much needed bonus games, you have to use Funky Flights. Let's continue to the next level, Barrel Cannon Canyon. Very good play on words there, Rare. Very good play. In this level, we have some secrets up here, so we're just going to take those for the sake of time. There's a whole bunch of secrets in this level. This isn't really so much of a a bonus secret, as it is a just like a shortcut, because it helps you skip a lot of the level. And it sends you right to the first checkpoint. Now, you can take out these guys. If you're careful, you can take out this guy too. There's several bonus rooms that I've been skipping on this playthrough, and there's quite a lot of them in the game. In fact, in order to complete this game on 101%, yes, 101, you have to get every bonus room in the game. Now, finding those is trickier than it is completing them, because you don't actually have to complete them, you just have to go into the rooms. Now, I've been skipping a lot of them in this playthrough. I'm not going for 100%, I'm just kind of showing you the game. But I do want to point out that it is important, if you want to complete this game fully, to get every bonus room. That's the main factor that adds to your percentage on your percentage of completing the game. Now here's one of those things where you gotta be careful. When looking at the art on the side of the barrels, you have, of course, the blank barrels, which is what I'm in right now, and you can push the button at any time to change to a different barrel, or it'll shoot you out of the barrel. Now those ones with the explosion effect sticker on them, those ones will fire automatically, so you have to watch out for those. And then of course there's things like the save barrels and the DK barrels, which the DK barrels you get another ditty from, and the or DK, and then the save barrels I already explained. Okay. Oh no. Let's go back, get that G, get the Kong. Yeah. Let's exit this level. Now we move on to the last two portions of this video. One of them is Candy Kong's save point. Another one of the Kong family is Candy Kong. Now, her purpose in this game is she's basically the role of Donkey Kong's girlfriend, I guess. But she's also the save point. So, you know, many old games use either passwords or save points which are directly on the game. This doesn't use a memory card or anything like that, or a hard drive or anything like that. It just uses what's on the actual game card. So we have to save the game. So we saved it at that 8%. That was me on the third row. Now let's go up here, and you can do that any time. You don't have to just go there once. You can go there at any time as long as you have access to moving to a candy save point. And it, once again, doesn't cost you any coins or anything in this one. Alright, we got Very Naughty's Lair. Slap it, Diddy, slap it. Come on! Yeah, we got that. That was really easy, boss. But sometimes if you're a little bit careless, it can get tricky. So just take your time on that one at first. Alright guys, now that we made it to Monkey Mines, the second world of the game, I'm going to leave you there. And hopefully this will encourage you to pick this game up on your own, whether on the 3DS or Wii U eShops, which is available on all right now. Or you can check it out on the Super Nintendo. There's also a really good Game Boy Advance port of this game, which is pretty dang close to the original on Super Nintendo. If you can find this game and you have the appropriate system for it, I would highly recommend this game. Now these games are some of my favorite games of all time, and I'm happy and excited to share this with you today on Happy Beard Games.